it's Spencer. We're up for another episode of Let's Rock. Sorry for the delay in the episode release. Still in college, so it gets chaotic. We had a lot of tests, all that, but we had a huge amount of rugby, and we're gonna start with that. My picks for last week were absolute dog trash. Like, I was wrong in 2 out of 3 games, and I did not see them coming. Cause, alright, so game 1 we had France and Italy. I was right on that one. France won, and France won big against Italy. They won 50-10. Uh, However, my favorite to win the whole thing was England. And, whew, it's going to be a hard one to win the whole thing when you don't score a try at all during the game. Final score of that game, Scotland 11, England 6. So, that was the start of my bad picks. And then I say that Ireland is going to be England's toughest competition. 2 very bold takes that became drastically wrong. Again, I said Ireland would beat Wales. Wales took offense to that, and Wales won 21-16. Oof. So, my picks starting off for the Six Nations. Dog crap. Absolute bottom of the barrel dog crap. But it's a new week. It's a new round. Round 2. Let's see if I can pull this one off. We're going to start with game 1. England and Italy. Excuse me. Italy actually played decent through the first half of the Italy-France game. They played very well in the first half, and then in the second half, all hell broke loose. France was dangerous. And unfortunately for Italy, they're going up against a pride-damaged England side. I think they're in for another one. I think Italy is going to have a solid first half. I think they'll score a couple tries. Honestly, I think they'll score a couple. And then England's going to remember who they are. And they're going to win game 1. So they're going to be back on the board. That's my call for that one. Then, we go to game 2, which is the most exciting game of Six Nations so far. Scotland versus Wales. Upset City. You have Scotland, who just beat England, and Wales, who just beat Ireland. I want to say Wales. I do. I want to say Wales. Because they're a fast team. But I'm not gonna. And here's why. Ireland was playing really well. Ireland was controlling the pace. Ireland was very physical in game 1. And then they had a controversial red card, not red call. They had a controversial red card that absolutely turned the tide of the game. And rugby is a tough game when you have all 15 players on the side. And when you have 15 on 14 for any amount of time, especially for as long as Ireland had, it's impossible to play to that level. It's the death penalty. When you get the red card, it is the death penalty. And so that's why I'm not gonna say Wales can pull this off. So I'm going with Scotland. Scotland wins it. Scotland leads the table going through round 2. 2-0. Because I'm saying they're going to score a lot. And that's the big thing about it. They're going to score a lot. So I think by the end of this week, Scotland's on top. And then you get to Sunday. Ooh, hey, gotta put personal bias aside here. Sunday, France versus Ireland. I want to say Ireland. And I can't put personal bias aside. I'm going to stay Ireland. Ireland wins it. So, I'm calling it. France gets upset. Ireland wins. England wins. They get back on the winning side. Wales takes an L. Italy takes another L. Poor Italy, man. Like this is such a tough competition, and they're so new to it in comparison to all the other teams. The other teams have been in this competition forever. And they're just a dominant rugby culture in France, England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Italy is still very, very much a soccer country. So I say give it time. Give it time, and Italy will be a strong competitive side for this Six Nations tournament. I don't think they lose every game this year. They are gonna win the wooden spoon. They're gonna finish last. That's just how I see it. I don't know how the rest of the leaderboard is gonna turn out anymore. Because I want to tell you that I'm confident. But I'm not confident. I don't think anyone who is watching this tournament can tell you that they're confident about any results. Any results this year. But it's going to be one of the most exciting years in Six Nations. Scotland is upsetting people. Wales is upsetting people. They're upsetting a red-carded Ireland. But they're upsetting Ireland. That's huge. That's huge. England and Ireland lose. And I do have to admit, I did make a mistake. Not just in my picks last week. I went 1-3 on my picks, but the biggest blunder of the week was that I said that Ireland finished second place last year. I'm an idiot on that one. Because I remember that France... the worst part about this is I remembered France beat Ireland at the end of it. At the last game. And this is why it was such a blunder, is I remembered how big that game was. Because both France and Ireland had opportunities to win it. France had the best opportunity to win it, and they just needed to score more points and win the game. They won the game, but they didn't score more points So the tiebreaker was that England wins the Six Nations off of points scored, and France takes second place. Ireland takes third, and I blundered that horribly. Had it reversed. Said England won, France came in second, or France came in third. Now I can't get it wrong. I'm trying to get it wrong now, but I can't get it wrong now. I got it wrong last week. Like I said last week, I said England, Ireland, France was the top three. That was wrong. That's my bad. I apologize for that. That was a blunder. That was dumb. France came in second. My apologies to all the France, rugby fans, to all the fans of Six Nations, and just my bad, guys, my bad. I messed that up big. And then I messed up the pigs big. But, to be fair, I don't think anyone really saw those games going the way they did. I don't think anyone... I don't think the Scotland fans could tell you that they knew England wasn't going to score. I don't think anyone could tell you that. I think the players of Scotland could tell you that they were going to go out and just kick the crap out of England. They might be the only people who have told you that, but it was a close game score-wise with the 11-6 score. But that really wasn't the story of the game. Scotland controlled the whole game from start to finish. They played it so well. And like I said, I don't think there's anybody out there who could have told you they saw that coming. And that's the amazing thing about that game, is it was so awesome to see Scotland just go out there and manhandle England and not allow England to score a single try. Their 6 points were off of 2 kicks. Never scored a try. I never saw that coming. That was crazy. That was amazing. And then Wales goes, hey, Scotland, we see you. We see you. We can do that too. We're going to follow you up. We're going to beat Ireland. And they played real well. They played a tight-knit game. Very competitive game. And then the red card happens. And then the red card. Which would have made just another absolutely beautiful, amazing rugby game into an impossible story. There was no way Ireland was going to be able to pull that off the way that situation was dealt. That red card so early in the game, so early into the second half, it's just, wow. But don't take credit away from Wales. They earned that win. They did. But I don't see them winning this week. I don't. And I'm going to see. I'm going to watch the games tomorrow. I'm not going to have to watch the replays like I did last week. Unfortunately, I will be wearing my Alpharetta Exiles gear to the tap, to the pub, to watch Six Nations. Because Mother Nature had other plans for us this week. I thought I was going to get to watch rugby and play rugby this week. This Saturday was supposed to be the first game of the season. And Mother Nature decided, no. No. So we'll try again next week. Next week's a rugby week. I'm excited to get back on the field. I'm not going to lie. I was bummed. I know my team was bummed. But the exec board for my club, huge shout out to the amount of work that they put out this week. They contacted everybody this week, everybody trying to get field situated, and it just didn't pan. But to the Alpharetta exec board, which every week they just it's I love being a part of it. I love getting to see the program of the Exiles grow. And if you live in the Atlanta area, highly recommend you reach out to the Alpharetta Exiles. We got practices, we got games. When Mother Nature decides not to go, you know what you guys need? You need a night at the bar. Would have rather have had a post-game social, but next week's a rugby week. I'm excited to actually have this crest on playing gear. We got big stuff coming, folks. Let's Rock got big stuff coming. Six Nations has big stuff coming. Alpharetta Exiles got big stuff coming. It's just, I love rugby. And, oh, speaking of absolutely loving rugby, huge news out of Major League Rugby, which for you who don't know about it, Major League Rugby is professional rugby in the United States. The unfortunate news that started last week or a week and a half ago, a week ago, I'm not quite sure, the Dallas Jackals, which is an inauguration team that was supposed to play this year, changed their plans. They've released their players so their players are able to seek roster spots throughout the league and be able to play for this season. Huge props to the Dallas Jackals for handling it that way. It's unfortunate that they don't get to play this season. They've decided that because of COVID and the risk that it would take and the limitation of fans, it was not the year that they wanted to have their first year. It would just be very difficult and very hard to deal with. And I understand and I respect it. I'm excited to see the Dallas Jackals come out in 2022. I'm not gonna lie, still looking to get one of their kits. I think their look for being one of the new teams, they have one of the coolest looks in the MLR. However, Rugby Atlanta, dangerous team that had their first year last year and had it cut short. Defensively, they were one of the best. They had the least amount of points allowed out of the entire MLR, if I'm correct, and I could be wrong, because, numbers aren't my strong suit. But Rugby Atlanta played really, really well last year, and they are super hungry to play this year. And I'm excited to see Ratlet. It's going to take some getting used to. Rattle Nation, Rugby Atlanta. I'm excited to see them get back on the field. I plan on getting out there to the game soon. But the exciting part about news out of Atlanta is, as some eSport fan knows, Toronto has added stipulations and just more government say-so when it comes to COVID rules and travel and participation and all that teams are just not going to be able to play in Toronto, which is unfortunate. You always want the home city to be able to play in front of their home fans. But they just haven't been able to do it. So, in basketball world, the Toronto Raptors have played in Tampa this year. And they've decided to stay in Tampa throughout the whole year. And following suit of that is the Toronto Arrows are not going to be playing, at least at the start, in Toronto. They're coming to Atlanta. They're going to start the start of the year. You never know how things go. They might change the Toronto might change their ways and allow them to go up and play in the second half of the season. But at least for the first half of the season, or first part of the season, I won't say half because I don't know, man, I'm not involved with them. But the first part of the season, they will be playing in Atlanta. And that's so cool to see a partnership between Rugby Atlanta and Toronto. They just want rugby out there. They want everyone to be able to play, and they want fans to be able to see great competitive Major League Rugby. So, props to you guys on that one. I'm excited to see it. I'm definitely going to be throwing some money out there so that I can go see some Rugby Atlanta and some Toronto Rugby. The one that I do think will be very interesting is if nothing changes by March, mid March, what is it, March 8th, something like that. Uh, Hang on, let me check the date on this one real quick. It's not 8th, 13th maybe. Dang, what is it? Whatever. I'll find it later. But Rugby Atlanta is supposed to play Toronto at. Toronto is supposed to be at home, and if nothing changes, that home game will be Rugby Atlanta in Atlanta, facing the Toronto Arrows. Talk about an unfortunate home field advantage. That's unfortunate to see. Hopefully things can turn around. Toronto will be able to play in front of Toronto fans soon enough. But until then, Toronto, welcome to Atlanta. Hopefully you guys enjoy your stay. And just stay healthy, stay safe, play rugby, take care of yourselves. Fan wise, you guys take care of yourself. Watch Six Nations. If your local teams are playing rugby, go practice, work out, get ready for the season. Take care of yourself. Wear your mask when you can. Hydrate. Wash your hands. I always find that one funny. The CDC and everything, they were like, wash your hands, wash your hands. Why did they have to have so many people tell you wash your hands, man? Wash your hands. I want to be able to play rugby. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. I've got my mask. Got some hand sanitizer. Got soap. I'm ready to play rugby. I'm excited. I got practice next week. I got a game next week. I wanted it to be this week. That didn't work out. Maybe next week. But we got big things happening this week. Like I said, just to recap my picks. England comes back. They win the game. They beat Italy. Unfortunately, Italy gonna stay at the bottom of the board. You're gonna start 0-2. That's just how I see it. But I went 1 for 3 last week. What do I know? Scotland stays in the winning column. They beat Wales. Sorry, Wales. I just don't see you pulling it off. That's just me. Ireland. I just like you too much to say that you're going to lose to France. Probably going to lose to France, though. But I'll be rooting for Ireland to win it. My pick is Ireland. France is just a dangerous team. So France and Ireland is my second favorite game of the week for round 2. First one is you gotta see upset city. You gotta see Scotland and Wales and see how they're gonna come out this week, because that is gonna be one of the most competitive games. Those guys are at an all-time high. They beat Ireland. They beat England. That was the reverse order how we wanted to do it, because I wanted to talk about Scotland first because they beat England, and then Wales second because they beat Ireland. But I flipped it and it came out the way it came out. But that's who they beat. I don't see Wales pulling off the Scotland upset. Just don't. Ireland. You had the red card. No, that was really the tide turner in the Wales game. So I think you do have a very strong possibility against France. But France is dangerous. France is physical. France is fast. So, if you want to see some bone crunching, hard hitting, tactical rugby, that's my game of the week to watch. Ireland and France. But upset city, Scotland and Wales on Saturday, second game of the day. Like I said last week, it's Eastern time, so I'm gonna be watching it at 11:45 in the morning. And after my chaotic week, I'm not gonna lie, I'm recording at 1:00 in the morning. Technically it's Saturday now, so I need to edit this real quick. I need to post it up so that you guys can see it first thing in the morning. And you guys can let me know who you think's going to win. What did you think of last week's games? What do you want to hear more of? What do you want to see more of? What are you excited about? Remember, folks, ruck and roll away. Have a good one. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe, everybody.